So yesterday, we talked about the return of Bob Iger bringing about the return of Disney in China at the box office. So Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, or as somebody in the comments called it, Wakanda Forever. Is Hollywood so woke? Also to be followed up by Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. See, I said the actual name that time. I didn't just call it Ant-Man. That is getting a release in China. Well, now, because of these releases in China, Disney is going to educate their actors on how to not offend the Chinese people. What they mean is the government.
This is a bit of a stretch, though. I went and looked at the report that this is sourcing from The Hollywood Reporter, and here's what it said. China just agreed to give valuable release dates for Marvel movies generally. Not only are we extremely unlikely to see any Chinese villains in Marvel movies, but presumably the talent in these movies will be well schooled to watch their words. Yep. And that's more so referring to doing press for the movies than what is scripted in the movies themselves.
It won't actually matter in the scripts.
What Chinese villains were off the table for Marvel films?
Look, they wouldn't be doing it anyways. But the point is,
are they in comics to begin with?
Yeah,
but are there Chinese villains?
I think the idea here is also that they're not going to hire Chinese actors in villain roles. But look, this is no different. Do you guys remember when John Cena accidentally made the grievous error of calling Taiwan a country?
Yes,
spoke Chinese.
What's weirder is
he apologized in Mandarin.
Yeah, it was a dark day.
When he went on Weibo to apologize in Mandarin, he didn't even mention what he did in his apology.
Right.
He was just like, I made a mistake and I'm very sorry, very sorry, very sorry.
Yep.
As I looked at the translation, he never explained what happened.
He didn't.
Because he was told to do it by the government, which is who was then told
Are you sure that the producers of Fast and Furious 9 were not the ones that told him to do this?
Look, the Fast and the Furious does gangbusters in China, so there's no way that it wasn't. They got a note from the Chinese Communist Party. Because remember, the Chinese Communist Party controls every release that comes out there. I still don't understand why they care, considering that you only get 25% at most of the box office return of anything that comes out of China, because the government keeps 75% of it. So they're like, look, we need this box office. You're going to have to go and apologize. It's also funny because he learned Mandarin years before because he would do WWE promotion in China.
Mm-hmm. What was so weird is the other day, this story, I remember this breaking on Twitter. So I forget what the actual tag was, but it was trending. And when people were celebrating it, oh my God, yay. Marvel's finally back in China. I'm like, why do you care? Yeah. Well, this
is that a win
news.
for China?
I
is
guess
that a win for Disney?
Good for Disney and their marketing team.
All the millionaires get to make more money.
I know.
Why are these people
more products for me to consume?
Why are these people so hopelessly tied to rich people that don't know or care that they exist?
They have nothing else.
I don't know.
It's one thing. I guess you could say we're tied to them because we criticize them, but at least we're criticizing them. It's it's being a pick-me girl. I'm a pick-me consumer.
Being a pick-me for Marvel and Disney properties.
Seriously. I mean, it makes sense if you think about people that stand out in line. There's literally a line out in Hollywood. When I was living there a while ago, there's a line outside of the Funko Pops place to go buy Funko Pops, and I think it's
all the time,
crazy all the time because there'll be new ones dropping all the time. There is a line.
I didn't know there was.
It's
right
above
where
I live there
as a society.
Crazy. Yeah, and it's not just a couple people. It's not 10 people. It's 100 people. For random Funko Pops. Mind you,
toys.
They're just little toys, and all they do is have a swivel head.
Well, they don't even.
You don't even use the swivel head.
They don't
keep it in the box and never
right.
touch it.
Right, exactly.
It's really
because it's an action figure,
right? Yeah,
not a toy.
There's a great
unreal.
There's a great skit that could be made where it's the whole line is actually all just YouTubers who are there to get set stuff for behind them on their cameras. They're like, I need the newest.
You could just get a green screen of a bunch of Funko Pops stacked up. You don't actually need to get a Funko Pop.
No, you need 84 of them, Mary. That's how many you need.
You need more than that to make a whole wall.
They're cool though, I will say, because it's a insane investment. I
It
mean, that's
is.
so because they're what, $15 each, $20 each,
if not more.
and
I
they're
think
tiny.
some people are there for the resale for sure.
But then
Suppose
again,
we can't-
any wall of objects where you just have a ton of them is
Yeah.
cool. You know,
Are
it
they
could be
just the
coffee
new
mugs.
Beanie
It could be.
Babies?
That was gonna say, it's like,
Yes,
can we
kind
really
of.
complain? Because like Beanie Babies were part of my childhood.
They're I mean, dude, it's football cards for video game nerds. Like that's what it is.
You mean baseball cards? Who the hell collects football
I
cards?
did. Get out of here.
What a weird-
Okay,
I did.
wow.
I've got Matt Ryan's rookie card. Thank you very much.
Earlier today, I was looking into what themes China bans movies for including. And Wesley kind of elaborated on this the other day as well. He said that one theme they really don't like is anything that brings back the dead,
Yep.
like seances,
That's
any
not
communication with the dead,
That's not good in China.
any idea of a Christian hell.
Religion, yeah.
No religious you
Or
can't have any religious
afterlife
things.
in general.
Yep.
Communicating with anyone in the afterlife. They don't like excessive blood or gore because it has to be appropriate for all ages, which is kind of bizarre, right?
Mary's like, I'm liking this. She's like, let's go to China,
mean,
right?
Right.
Let's go.
I don't agree necessarily with the gore thing or the afterlife thing. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I definitely agree with certain aspects of like their decency laws. Like, I don't think there should be overt sexuality in movies. I don't think that there should be excessive levels of like nudity. I don't think there should be like gay romances in movies. Honestly, like that's my position. As a Christian, those are my values. I don't think that should be reflected on screen.
I'm here for all the sexuality, all the nudity, and all. No, I like
Everything to the
and-
max.
and everything to the max. Look, like,
Because like opposing the CCP doesn't mean
Oh my
thank
God.
you.
that's what it's supposed to sound like.
By the way, PCC is just CCP backwards. So
Coincidence?
we're actually Chinese agents.
I mean, you've never seen me and Xi Jinping
No,
in the
but
same place, have you?
Obviously, I
Very
am
true,
not
very true.
defending the
That's a good
Chinese
point.
Communist Party or censorship from a state. But what I'm saying is, like, on principle, having standards for obscenity and decency are not a problem in my book.
It's not like we didn't have them in this country before.
We still have them.
We do still have
You
them,
can't
it's very
say whatever
true.
you want on the radio or on
No.
live TV.
No.
You can't show whatever you want. Like, that's
You can't even
we
on
still-
YouTube. You
We
can't
still
even on
have
YouTube.
some levels of censorship.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a thing in every country.
I totally understand what you're saying. I get it. I think they have very, very different reasons for why they want these things
Definitely,
in place.
yeah.
for
Yeah, but
sure.
here's the funny thing. The journalists from our previous topic would love it because they could get locked in their apartment with the rest of the population during
Right,
COVID.
welded
and
into
maybe
their
maybe
apartment.
the idea is that they could be welded into their apartment while watching Marvel movies.
If you're welded into your apartment, how do you get your DoorDash?
Oh,
Comes in a
huge.
tube.
What?
yeah.
That's a big problem.
Yeah,
No,
one
it
of
comes
those, one
via
of those
drone.
Amazon drones
Yeah,
flies
the drone
your
will fly
flies your DoorDash. Like they really do think that that's the way the world works.
Yeah, they're all about it.
Well,
They love the safety and, control of the box, guys. Don't want to leave the box. Just we're okay.
Like in the slightest defense
So
of
ridiculous.
those insane people, they'll be like, no, I know, guys, the food comes from the factory. It's like, but dude, you have no idea the ins and outs. You have no idea that it took 5 or 6 different suppliers to make that one box
From
of cereal.
flyover
China-
states that you
Yeah.
hate.
Yeah,
China,
right.
China
You have
is
no
also
idea.
China also outlaws themes of government rebellion. You're not
Yeah,
allowed to
definitely.
do anything, and so
I saw
they
this-
do not do it for decency. They do it to control the
Control.
populace.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
You
I
don't-
mean,
nobody. Xi Jinping is not a decent. He's not here for the decency of it.
Okay.
He's here to keep his population in line.
totally.
Mm.
But like when it comes to gay romance, they banned
Yeah.
Strange World in China because it was a gay romance in there. Is that controlling the populace?
What? That's weird
Kind of,
too.
yes, because
Yes,
they
it
don't
is.
want people to.
Because I think including it is also controlling the populace in the U.S.
China
Of course,
has a-
of course, but it's a different thing. China is struggling with what I think is an idiotic policy of the one-child policy, which they
Yes.
kept for a long time, and they're trying to encourage, a lot like Japan, trying to encourage their populace to breed, basically. And they think that
Yes.
if you were to allow homosexuality, it then obviously it impedes population growth.
Which would have never
Which is the opposite of the
happened in
United
the
States.
first place
But
if
are
they
they-
hadn't enforced
Right.
the one-child policy.
But they're
So
not even-
I'm not endorsing like what they're doing
But I
in
understand,
their policies.
I understand what
but-
you're saying. It does have the knock-on effect of making more decent content, and et cetera. And you can clearly see that in Douyin, which is the TikTok of China. You can see that
Right.
they're enforcing that, like, the content on Douyin is all like, positive. It's all nationalist. It's all about people growing things and cooking food, science,
STEM.
thinking about wondrous things like space travel, etc., which we used to have in this country.
And here
as well.
it's all about TikTok dances,
Right.
thoughts
Now
on the
it's all
internet.
dances.
We've had
That's
this
why I'm
discussion
saying,
before.
like, corporations can try to control the populace
Mm.
just as much, if not more, than authoritarian states do. So
True.
that's
Very
the
true.
basic thing I'm
But
pointing out.
a corporation, it's the same thing. If a corporation is the one that's in control, they are the authoritarian state.
It's cooler if they just started basing like banning movies because they're bad. They're just like, your movie just freaking sucks.
You did not rate above 30% on Rotten Tomatoes.
like
Censored.
Jail.
no.
Straight
Why
to
did they
all
ban
you
Top
jail.
Gun?
Oh, because it's pro-America.
It's
and because they put the Taiwanese flag back on the jacket.
Yeah.
See, you won't have to change much about Marvel movies because they already hate America.
Now here's the funny thing. There's just some subversive dude at Marvel in their CGI department who starts like editing in little Epoch Times like stuff into the movie. Like,
They've been doing that.
But I'm saying, but now they still like now. Yeah, but then. At that point, they weren't getting Chinese releases. Now he starts doing it in a way without permission from the line director, and he's like just sneaking it in there. Like Doctor Strange is on his phone, and there's like a little tab in the background for the Epoch Times, just his little
The
fu.
tiniest little dog
I love
whistle.
it. I see. Those are the movies I want to see made. I want to see a movie about the little rebellious dude at the production company working for the man, but he's got to keep his individuality and his beliefs in some way. So he inserts little messages into these movies.
We have that movie.
gotta
It's
hire
called
you to write
it's
this.
called Edward Snowden.
Yeah.
That's happened.
The Joseph Gordon-Levitt one.
That actually was a good movie, but I've heard it wasn't accurate.
He doesn't really. I mean, he kind of looks like Snowden, I guess, a little bit.
No, it's not.
In the sense that he's like
He looks enough like Snowden,
yeah.
but
But not accurate.
You mean
to
the actual,
story.
the content?
yeah, they made it seem a lot more spy thriller
Yeah.
than it actually was.
Was that the one with who made that one? Was that? I don't
No
remember,
idea.
I don't remember who made.
I don't know.
Chat, who made the Snowden one with Joseph Gordon-Levitt? They might know. It was definitely more spy thriller than
Miramax.
Yeah.
Oh, I should watch that
kidding.
Harvey
again. That was a
Weinstein,
good
maybe.
movie.
Just
That is a
kidding.
damn shame. How is he still over there as a political prisoner?
Yeah. Free
so
Snowden, by the
upsetting,
way.
man.
Free Snowden, free Cobra.
Look, it's.
You know why they're welcoming Wakanda Forever? Wakanda Forever hates America.
Yeah, definitely.
That movie was all about American corruption. So it's not necessarily state corruption as a theme that's banned in China.
Yeah.
You're allowed to show corruption as long as it's in
No,
West.
rebellion is not allowed on screen. You
Corruption
can't
is
show-
also a sensitive theme,
Yeah.
though, that they ban.
So the other thing here is like, look, they mentioned in the article, no Chinese villains, which brings us back to Camille Nanjiani's topic about I want to play more
villain,
bad guys.
right.
Well, better hope India doesn't get a bigger market share because they
Right.
might not like the idea of you playing a villain, even if you want to play a villain.
Correct.
That's the problem when
But
you
they need
start
to do-
exporting these views outwards and pretending like your stupid Marvel role
Yeah.
means something important for society. Which
Well,
it
it's
does
just
not.
people fell in love with Joaquin Phoenix's The Joker. It's because villains they're cool. People like to see that
They have
dark
more
side of the
cachet
story.
these
I'm over it.
Yeah, so
I just want goody two shoes. I want the dude to get up.
Well, it's what sells, Brett.
Yeah.
It's what makes the most money.
I do not sound like that. Okay, look,
That's just my snarky
I'm
voice.
done
It's
with
not
this.
What you
I'm
sound
done
like.
with this show today.
Hey.
That's not what I sound like when I like criticize
Anyway,
Hannah Clark.
I think that this is just like the classic example of Western wokeness butting heads with the goal of globalism.
It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, to see all the people like, what's more woke, liking China releasing Marvel movies or not liking China releasing Marvel movies? 'Cause
Like, I wasn't cool with globalism or wokeness, but you guys can battle
Yeah.
it out and I'll laugh at you.
when did the term woke change definitions? Because 10 years ago, it meant just like, are you aware of the nonsense? Are you aware
It
of
was
the
Oliver
BS? Like,
Stone.
be on your guard because people are lurking. When did it become like this new term? You know,
It became
When-
about
like,
like,
when did that shift
systemic
happen?
racism in like 2014.
It was when Tumblr egressed to Twitter,
And 'cause
whenever
they-
that
'cause
was.
they banned
because they
porn.
banned hardcore pornography on the platform,
Wasn't
and then
that
they
in
were
like
like,
2019?
which I've heard
that
It
was
was
more
later, but
recent. I
like
thought.
didn't Tumblr sell for like $3 million or something. It sold for like some tiny amount.
A
of
really,
money.
really minuscule amount. I used to use Tumblr to look at photos of bicycles.
I didn't know you were a
and
Tumblr
artwork.
girl.
I'm not a Tumblr girl, okay? Guys, jeez. No, but I did used to use Tumblr because you could find cool content, music, art, etc. And then I just stopped because it got unreal and unbearable because every post about everything was like, part of this wokosphere thing.
Yeah.
Pretty chill now.
I've heard they're
Yeah,
going
now
back.
it's a lot
there
better. Now it's surprising how that happened. Like everyone egressed to Twitter and then now they're leaving Twitter. I don't know where the hell.
No, they're
where
going
the hell
back to
they're
Tumblr.
going.
I heard they're going
Really?
back to Tumblr now because of
Interesting.
Twitter.
I'm on Twitter,
interesting.
or I'm on Twitter and Tumblr, and I have not seen the insanity come back to Tumblr. It's mostly just
Take
pictures.
time.
Yeah, it's
Someone
good. That's why I
Someone
like
said they
Tumblr in the
blame
first
Childish
place.
Gambino for probably that song Redbone.
Yeah.
Where it's
Yeah.
stay woke, but I don't
Now
think
I have that song looping in my head.
I don't think
you.
that's what he means though. Like I think he
He
means
also
just
did
be on
the-
your guard.
He also
Sure.
did This Is America.
I don't think he
too.
means like,
I hate that
hey,
song.
Yeah, me too.
let's push critical race theory and
Ugh.
drags time story hour on 5-year-old, 6-year-old children.
This
I don't
Is
think that's what
America
he
was the
means by
worst.
woke.
It's
Yeah.
it's objectively from a musical standpoint, it's not that good.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
just
it's
not
a
that
bad
good.
song. I mean,
He's
cool
just not
message,
good.
but you could have also wrote a poem, dude.
He's like Kendrick Lamar, where they just think that they're like the pinnacle of
The
political commentary
right.
in
Like
rap
the culture
when
itself.
it's been done.
I would
Yeah,
take J.
for real.
Cole over
Yeah.
both of them anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, did you
Personally-
hear what J. Cole just did? I was
Yeah,
telling
it was-
Serge about
it was
this last
tight.
night. So you know what a type beat is, Brett? So a type beat is like you can enter any artist's name on YouTube and then right after that type beat.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because it's like
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
it's a
like
Mary type
DJ
beat.
Khaled type beat. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so,
yeah.
so this guy, so J. Cole goes on. He's like, I don't feel like producing. I just want to just have a beat already and just rap to, right? So he types in J. Cole type beat on YouTube, finds a video, makes a
So
whole
dope.
song, and instead of releasing it, he gave it to the guy that made the beat on the
Amazing.
YouTube video. He's like, here,
That's
you can just
funny.
have my song, do what you want with it.
That's
Applause.
amazing.
Didn't-
Applause
yeah,
to J.
it is
Cole. That's
awesome.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I was like, no way,
Yeah.
what an awesome dude.
I would take J. Cole over Kendrick Lamar. Personally.
That's tough. It's a tough battle.
Personally,
It's a toss-up.
Personally,
It's tough.
I would take J.
understand.
Cole as well, but it's tough.
It's a toss-up.
There is some Childish Gambino that I like, but
Yeah,
not
yeah,
as
not
much.
nearly
Not
the-
nearly as
You
much.
watch Atlanta?
No.
Oh, it's
no,
good, dude.
No, I know a lot of people like it. It's
good.
Like I don't like that. That's just not my genre. Even if
Yeah,
if
yeah.
it was,
It's
not-
like
not-
4 different genres.
Yeah.
Depends on the episode. Honestly does.
All right. They're saying type beat. Yeah, type beat. Basically, it's funny too because like I've seen ones where it ends up in the metadata where it's like if you look at the song and then you go look downwards and it's like so and so type beat and it's after the list. Like it doesn't have an artist listed. It
Right.
just lists the name of the song.
Right. Yeah.
As type
A lot
beat.
of people will even put like there's a lot of YouTube videos where that says like it's a particular artist's track and the artist is not featured on the song
Yeah.
whatsoever, and they'll just put type beat in it too because it will do better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Music is wild these days.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.